This is your girl again, Enchantress. I'm out here on these DFW Metroplex streets. I'm on YouTube streets and I'm on IG streets. And I'm coming today because I come to play with you. Hear me? I did not come to play with you. What I want to talk about is the importance of your reading and understanding your natal chart. Some people don't even utilize this information that I'm about to share because they haven't been exposed to it. Some people have been exposed to it and don't quite get the importance. Some people call it divination. Some people say that it's, witchcraft. I could just go on and on. But the bottom line is a wide majority of people do not read their natal charts. And when I say read, I don't mean pick it up, look at it, and say, okay. This is the single most important piece of literature, of living aspects of your life experience in Urantia, in Earth. A lot of people don't understand that. We wake up and we keep the days of the week. We keep time. We keep birthdays. We do that because they're aspects of your natal chart. If you understand the importance of today, and 100% of people that I know do, then 100% of those people should know the value of reading and studying their natal chart. Your natal chart is something that you should be immersed in. You should understand what each placement and aspect is, because it's a blueprint for what you are and what the possibilities are in this life form. There are people who are famous, who are politicians or celebrities, we'll just use those two, that understand this, and they have gone through the steps of study to know how to read their natal chart and to take those aspects, blueprints of what you truly are, the essence of what you truly are, and utilize it to help you journey and navigate through this world. All right. Now I have to say this. Most people don't know who and what they are. Your natal chart gives you access to knowing that information. Now, for whatever reason, I've always known who and what I was just intuitively, without anybody putting a name on it or somebody coming and co-signing. As a small child, I didn't need approval and I didn't need an audience. Those were two things I know I didn't need. I just understood who and what I was. It wasn't until I began to go to school and have access to people outside of what was in my environment where I lived and my family, I began to be under the pressure of certain individuals who maybe could discern who I was, but didn't necessarily like it. And most of the times it's because they truly didn't know who they were. I have a very I have an energy about me and a presence about me that you just can't deny. It's full of vibrancy and it's full of life. Those are two aspects I will focus upon, and coupled with me knowing who I am. So if I'm placed in an environment, because I know who I am and because of the elements that are attached to me, there are just going to be certain things that are going to happen that don't normally happen. Just like I explained to people, if you flip your hands over, your prints don't match mine. That's the effect that I have. It may be most people have hands, but they don't have the prints that I have. So there may be people that may be able to walk into a room and affect the environment, but it doesn't get the effect that I present. And that's because I understand and I know who I am. Now, my greatest challenge of late has been, how do I yield and wield those attributes with precision? That has been my my goal, my most recent set and accomplished goal. Okay? So, back to your natal chart. If you've never gone and had your natal chart read, then and you've taken time to read other people's words and books about something else, you're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're not profiting yourself, you're profiting people who other than yourself. All right. I've always known that there's something vibrant about my just immediate entrance, and people that know me can attest to that. I never could put a word onto it or a title onto it or a description. So if you were to look at my natal chart, you would know that that aspect of what I'm talking about will be related to your sun. So the first impression that people have about you when they see you, this is attributed to the sun in your natal chart. And that would be at the beginning of your chart on the left-hand side. So if you look at the wheel, you get your natal chart, and you look at it. We're going to start from the left. Okay, that's your entrance. That is what people see about you. That is your presence, whether it be physical or metaphysical. And it impresses what is around you. Okay, I have the galactic center on my sun. That is a proper and very powerful placement. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, I hate to say this word, but it's just for convenience, and I've already studied this, so I know, I've already studied my natal chart. So if I read something, I already know whether it's going to be a benefit and support the facts of what I'm saying or not. So what I'm going to do is go to Google. I hated saying that. What does it mean to have the galactic center on your sun, or conjunct your sun in your natal chart? I've hit enter, and this one, the first one, is the loveliness. I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna read this to you, okay? Give you an understanding as why I impress you the way that I do, and whether you legitimately should be afraid or not. Alrighty, where are my glasses? Okay, here's a pair. Bear with me, you beautiful people. We're 8 minutes in. I don't want to bore you, but this is very important information. I'm going to give you this, and then I'll let myself go. Okay, the galactic center in your astrology chart. What is the galactic center, and how does it relate to us on Earth? The galactic center, which sits at the center of our Milky Way galaxy, is the source of energetic particles that bathe the Earth. Now, just by that alone, I have that on my sun. That's why I affect you the way that I do. With the recent years of the sun being faintly quiet and the Earth's magnetic field weakening a bit, these energetic particles, infrared and gamma particles, have been able to make their way into the Earth's energy field. These particles are thought to open up the subconscious mind, urging us to both release old emotional wounds and traumas, and also to engage our new paradigm roles. In fact, the galactic center acts as a transmitter of divine consciousness. So if that is accurate, and I believe that that is somewhat true, that means that divine consciousness operates in what you immediately see about me. Okay? So let's go a little bit further. The galactic center in your first house, that's where my placement is. You personify the energy of ascension and connect intuitively with the new paradigm. You carry deep knowledge that you are here to do something of importance. You listen to my videos, that's fact. You feel ahead of your time in thinking ideas and concept of truth. You know that that's truth based on my previous videos. Boldly stepped into patterns of light and embodies unity and oneness. All right, so I have the galactic center in my first house and it conjuncts my sun. Another thing that's very interesting aspect in my chart is, okay, let me stop right there. Let me roll back a little bit. The reason I'm telling you about your natal chart is because in the future, there's going to be a big push and movement towards having your natal chart read. Now, I want to give you some things that will help you really take advantage and to really get the benefits of getting this information. I don't want you to spend your money to get your natal chart read and then you're off on your way and that person gets somebody else's natal chart a reading and then they get paid for that. I want you to treat your natal chart like one of the most vital pieces of document that you can have, more so than your birth certificate, driver's license, social security card as you navigate this earthly realm. As a matter of fact, those things, those vital pieces of information are just remnants of your natal chart. And that's one of the reasons that they're requesting it as you experience in this life, because what they've done is they've gone into something that is very important in your life process, and they've taken that and they've decided to take remnants of it to create programs. And because these pieces of information are very vital, the program will become vital and something that a lot of people need, as you understand. Now, I have to say this. When reading your natal chart, I would not be offended if you find something that you don't like or you don't want to hear, because ultimately I look at this as, what does the heavens have to say about you? When you entered into this realm, what did the heavens have to say about your entrance and your purpose in this life form? That's the most important thing. Have you ever wanted to know, if you believe in something, let's say you believe in God, Allah, Jah, and you just ever wanted to know how they felt about you, then I would say if you want to get an answer to that or a glimpse of it, you would want to look at your natal chart. I also have to put this into, if you were born unnaturally, your natal chart still is what it is, but that means that your natal chart, your aspects have been manipulated. So that means that one or two things, you're probably going to have some placements that are a little fucked up, but that's okay. You know, we all have parts about us that we don't necessarily like or want to showcase. But there are ways to learn how to deal that with other aspects of your chart that are in proper placements. I can't see any one individual just having all the aspects fucked up. I think if someone comes into this existence and all of their aspects in their chart are fucked up, they probably don't live long. They probably have a short lifespan. So be encouraged. Take a deep breath. And put in time, the time that you put to study, to get a degree, or put in the time that you put into a relationship, put into your natal chart and understanding it, okay? Because in the future, this is going to be the only thing that gives you some sense of understanding about why you do what you do and why you've gone this way, and, you know, why this keeps happening in your life. Those types of answers to questions. It's not the tout de gras. It's not the total thing. It's not everything, because you have to, if you want the most out of what your purpose is, you have to line up with the placements that are in your chart. Okay? There's a reason why everyone who is famous, or everyone that's referred to as the GOAT legitimately, because that's becoming a very just watered down term. This because of what's in their natal chart. You cannot be a superstar athlete. You cannot be a person on the wall of fame of anything without having certain placements in your natal chart and having royal fixed stars. Where do you think the term the royal family comes from? Because there's some of us that don't know anything about their natal chart, but know that there's something special, but don't fit into the celebrity status and feel like they keep getting knocked down over and over because you probably have royal stars in your natal chart. Okay? More than likely. So there is a royal family, and they're talking about aliens, and we've seen movies or whatever. I don't want you to get caught up like that. Let's look at these entities as celestial beings. You talked about the galactic center. That's a celestial being. Don't look at it as an alien, because what you're going to do is your mindset and your psyche and mentality is going to go to the movies that they've given you. So I'm attempting to give you another way, a more effective and more productive way of viewing these aspects. Okay? So I just wanted to come in and let you know that your natal chart is the single most important piece of literature that you can possess and also study, because it is about you. Why would you put more energy into studying something other than yourself? You put all your energy, years and time of getting up, blood, sweat, and tears, studying something else, but don't study what you are. That's a huge disservice to whatever it is that you serve and your purpose here. Now, if I'm accurate, how do you think whatever has allowed you to be here, what do you think they're going to say when they realize that you keep the days of the week, you even keep your birthday, and you tell time, but you haven't studied your natal chart? Come on, do you really want to be in that position to have to be at the other side of that? Or do you just want to say, oh, we just born and we just go to sleep and to the dust and that's it? Well, good luck with that one. And for those of you that aren't interested and curious, I've learned over the years that I have a gift and talent when it comes to seeing these celestial aspects, and it probably has something to do with my galactic center and my Antares moon, which is a perfect placement, a very powerful placement. Having an Antares moon, I would equate it to, if you do serve a god, okay, or anything that you believe in, and having an Antares moon is like being in this earth realm and actually having the mind of God. So I'm gonna stop there, and if you're interested, drop a comment in the comment section. I guarantee you, if you're here and you haven't heard this before, this is going to be unlike anything that you've ever experienced before, and it's going to wow you if you allow me to show you how to begin to study your natal chart. My firstborn son is one of the first individuals, and he didn't plan it. He just was living out his chart, his natal chart, which is a fire-ass chart. My firstborn son, if you've read this and if you've listened to the video of how he was conceived and how he was brought into this realm, when you look at his natal chart, you're gonna be like, oh, I see, now it makes sense. I'm giving you an example of people who have fire-ass placements in their chart, okay? Some of the top tier that I'm aware of at this point would be Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, my grandfather, my firstborn son, and a few of my grandchildren, Michael Jordan, Jamie Foxx, Eric Bishop, that's his name, Denzel Washington, Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a fire-ass chart. I'm talking about it's fire. Anyway, Beyonce's chart is cool. It's nothing to scoff at. But those two together, it does not surprise me now why Jay-Z and Beyonce, what they do together is what it is, because their natal charts just complement each other and create that much power together. Another person that has a fire chart is Khalees. And so when I heard that Beyonce removed the sample, I knew automatically that when you looked at Khalees's chart, her aspects, we're going to use this layman's term, usurped over Beyonce's. And once I looked into it, it was... I've now studied my natal chart so much and understand myself that now I can just look at people and tell aspects of their chart, and it makes me curious as to want to ask questions. And that once they allow me to see it, I'm like, that's why I could discern it, because I have the gift and the talent and the ability to see these things because of my Antares moon. Now that I've studied natal charts, because of my Antares moon, because of my galactic my sun conjuncting the galactic center. The galactic center is bestowing in this earth realm something that I can utilize and that operates in me on my sun. So it's amazing. Let me go. But I hope you're interested. Hit me in the comment section.